The Veeva and the Mock team are excited to announce the release of Phase 2 Champ and Veeva integration with the changes including enhancements to the email notifications that you will receive, a direct hyperlink between the Champ system and Veeva, a connection between the responsible person in the Champ and the responsible person in Veeva, removal of duplicative and unnecessary tabs and fields, automatic calculations of the authority timeline and total duration based on the information entered in the General tab, the development of a Champ delay tab, which will provide the Mock team with the new expected submission or new and expected approval dates. So first thing is first, and that is navigating to the champs that have been assigned to you in your respective countries. And I will point out the first enhancement right here off the bat is that the emails have been more standardized and a little easier to use. So you would receive an email that looks something like this with a link, and all you would need to do is click on that link and it will take you directly to the champ that you need to work on in the system. Of course, if you happen not to have the email, or maybe you're filling in for another colleague, you can also access your champs by going to the 3 action lines, going to modules, selecting common, and then all activities or my activities. I'm going to use all activities, and then you can simply filter by the responsible person tab. So however you choose to get to the champ, you will end up on a page like this with the regulatory impact report for that country and that product. The first thing that you will need to do is complete the submission estimated date and estimated approval date here. So we will click there. We'll plan to submit in about a month. And then I would say we expect approval in about a year. You'll note the same pop-up will occur, letting you know that the regulatory action has been created in Veeva. You simply need to hit OK. Another enhancement that's been made is that once you create that regulatory action, you will get an email that lets you know that this was done. That way, if you want to go back to this at any point or create a reminder for myself, you'll have an easy access to click on the link and go simply to that reg action. Right. Another thing to note is that some of the unnecessary fields have been hidden, so you will now have a little bit more direct access to what you need in D365 without all the additional tabs that aren't necessary for your role. So with that in mind, we can quickly scroll down to the country matrix. And you'll note as well that the default is now, yes, it's different. And we have the authority time automatically being generated from the above information that you entered. And all you'll need to do is enter the approximate preparation time. So in this case, it's about 1 month. And this will auto calculate the total duration. And as it was before, you still have the option to add any requested documents to this list here and have those ported over to Veeva. However, no enhancements have been made to this section at this time, and this works as it did previously. Lastly, just to note is if no regulatory work is needed, again, same as before, you simply have to hit no here, and this country matrix will defer to no automatically for you. So if no regulatory work is needed, just simply hit no and save. That's all you need to do. But in this case, we are assuming regulatory work is needed, and again have completed those few sections and are going to hit save. Once you have marked your activity as complete, This is just making sure, again, popping up or letting you know, do you sure you don't want to request any documents? In this case, I do not want to request any documents, so I'm going to say OK. And the system will now automatically give you a link to your regulatory action in Veeva. So this can be very helpful in managing your work and being able to go from one system to the next. You also will get an email, which I showed before with this information. So I can simply click and it will take me directly to the regulatory action for this product in Veeva. So once you've completed your task from the D365 side, you can move directly into Veeva and you never have to go back now for this champ to D365. All of your actions will be taken from this side. You'll begin by clicking the edit pencil and updating all of the information that needs to be updated in the details section, as well as being sure you've added a specification number and the appropriate production sites. You'll also want to note that we've added a new section called Responsible Person, and this will be used, there's nothing that you need to do, but it'll be used to track who the owners of each registration are and will help to better send out notifications and start workflows and make Veeva a bit more of a project management tool and more useful for the end user. Another enhancement that we have made to make the data more seamless between the two systems and up to date is this champ delay tab. And so what this tab will be used for is tracking if the submission has been delayed for various reasons or if the approval has been delayed. So if we're going to play the example in this scenario that we are having a delay in submission. So you'll note here that my previous expected submission date was 1/29, but I've realized that that's not going to be applicable due to documentation holdups. And so I'm going to move the submission to February, so 1 month out, and then select reason for documentation delays, and then of course add comments. And then hit save. And now this information will be automatically ported back to D365 and the mock team will be alerted of it so they can keep their systems and tracking up to date as well. So we are going to fast forward, assume we now have all the documentation that we need, and we're going to move this regulatory action to submitted. So the submission date is on time now, so we are now in the end of February. And if the application number and hit start. So now our regulatory action has been submitted. We've added everything we need. And then the production sites will automatically be sent back to champ as well as this champ delay. So again, then if you are fast forwarding to next year and you realize the approval is going to be delayed, you can simply add another champ delay here and add a new estimated approval. So now we think it's going to be 2026, so it's going to be 2 years, and that is because of delays, political delays in this region. Okay. Political reasons, save. And again, this information will be sent back to the mock team as well. So finally, we will assume that this has been approved after a year late, but still we got it approved. We'll add our received document here and change this to the approved state. And once again, oops, all right, hold on. And we can add any decision numbers. If there is a permit or permit number, that can be filled in there. Hit start. And this information will also be ported back to D365 for the mock team to keep that accurate and updated, and you have to take no more actions.